they lowered the oil pan, found piston rings, and said, your engine is cooked. They used whatever the official Audi terminology is, not cooked, but it's no good. My progression through the Audi ranks, Volkswagen Audi ranks, started very innocently. I was first job out of college. I needed a car, and I just started looking around, and I said, I really like how the S4 looks, but I'm fresh out of college. I don't make enough money for an S4. What's the next best thing? Well, they made an A4 S-Line, which looked the part. And I said, all right, let's sort this through an Auto Tempest-like search engine from lowest price to highest, and let's find the lowest one. And it turns out, and I didn't know any better at the time, I just really liked how it looked, that the lowest priced one was a front wheel drive, not quattro, and then what they call front track was the transmission, but it's a nice way of saying CVT. So as an enthusiast, I thought I was getting the cool S-Line. Turns out I was getting a front wheel drive CVT Econobox. Didn't care, I still modded it. I put S6 LEDs in it. I put coilovers on it. I went through about 7 different sets of rims, mostly BBSs, but a handful of other things, carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber interior, LED interior lights, just like you name a piece of that car you could modify, I did. But thankfully, as you try to ascend the corporate ladder of corporate America, I got a promotion. And I said, all right, great, I made a little more money. And my rent at the time, I split it with my then girlfriend, now wife, was about $650 a month. And I split it 50-50, so $320 each. Said, all right, all of this new money can go straight into my car. So I went to the Audi dealership, I traded it in, and I got an S4. And all my buddies were there. We were part of the Four Rings Racers group at the time, and it was all Audi guys. And I just thought, all right, I finally got the car I wanted. Modded that S4 to beyond recognition. I had Öhlins dampers, a big brake kit that required track pads and regular rebuilding, carbon fiber hood, all the jazz. Took it to track days and just became Mr. Audi. I started a little blog about it, Next Car Blog, that's still around. I haven't posted in a while, but I just wanted to share my Audi passion and enthusiasm. So then, the S4, it had been around for 4 years. I thought it was time to move on, and I did what any reasonable person would do. I wanted to buy the next Audi up the ladder. So shopping around some after the S4, I got into a TTRS. I cross-shopped a Cayman, a handful of other really cool cars, and I thought the TTRS is an iconic 5-cylinder car, all-wheel drive, it's got great balance. It came manual only for the first American generation of the TTRS. And it checks all the boxes, it makes cool noises. I drove that car for a while, took it to a couple track days. I had track wheels for it, track pads. There's a pattern here, of course. And one day on the way to work, it just starts misfiring. And I pull over, do the thing as soon as it has a flashing check engine light, and could tell something is very, very wrong. I got it towed to the dealership, and they said they lowered the oil pan, found piston rings, and said, your engine is cooked. They used whatever the official Audi terminology is, not cooked, but it's no good. And so I sent it out to a place in Vegas to get the bottom end rebuilt, the sleeves, forged everything, and a turbo upgrade. So it now does 500 wheel horsepower. That took way too long, but I got it back, drove that for another year, got another promotion, got another itch. So it was time again. The next rung of the ladder for me was either to go into a 911 or to stay with Audi. And for whatever reason, I had blinders on and I thought, I'm just an Audi guy. I got to do it. I got to stay with it. This is now my identity. The RS4 came because a good friend of mine who's a dealer and a fellow degenerate bought 2 of them at the same auction. Said, I really only want one of these, so do you want the other one? I said, sure. He charged me a small margin for his time and gave me by far the rougher one of the 2 that he bought. I fixed that up. That was my COVID project. And I thought, all right, well, now I've done an A4, S4, RS4, done a TTRS. Logically, what's next is the R8. And that is when I jumped into the R8, found one with 4 photos, terrible photos. Some of them had Instagram filters. Some of them weren't even of the car he was selling, but his car was in the background. But it was priced right. It had a mere 73,000 miles, which for a supercar is about triple what you would expect probably. But thought, you know what? It's $57,000. What's the worst that could happen? My friend Edison, who lives out there on the East Coast where the car is being sold, went and picked it up for me. During the PPI, they took a video and it stumbles on start. And then you hear the mechanic go, oh, wait, no, don't send him that one. Let's record another one. And then they did the cold start a second time, and they sent me both videos, which was like, oh God, the people, but this is why PPIs sometimes aren't worth a grain of salt. Like, the mechanics are in on it, and they're such idiots that they can't even send the right video. I digress. The R8 was actually really, really incredible. Like, I had so much fun with that car. Wonderful platform, wonderful value. Everyone, if they have the means, should buy one once time in their life. After the R8, did about 2 years on that. I have a history of panic buying and panic selling. So I see a good deal, I panic buy it. And if I'm convinced that the car market is turning, I panic sell it as quickly as I can. And things were slowing down in the post-COVID. Doug made a comment that sales were starting to slow a little bit, is what he was seeing in the marketplace. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to lose money. I got to sell. And I just panic sold this car to the first person that expressed interest. Wonderful gentleman up in San Francisco. And then realized, wait a minute, the car market didn't disappear. The car market's fine. I just sold the car for no reason. And now I need to find something better than the R8 to replace it because I can't downgrade. I shop around for a while and I watch a lot of VINwiki videos and other things. And everyone's talking about the Murcielago. Haggerty, their magazine, had a Murcielago on the cover and said, this is the bull market. This is what we recommend you invest in that'll have the most upside. So again, I do the car guy math and I think, well, I mean, this is like a blue chip stock. It's like an S&P 500 index fund. What's the worst that could happen? So I start shopping around trying to find the cheapest Murcielago. I use my normal tactic of auctions on Bring a Trailer that end on weekends that I don't think will get enough traction. And there was a very nice yellow one out of Texas that I bid on up to 150K. Did not meet reserve, and no surprise, the dealer did not budge far enough down for me to meet in the middle with him. So I went my other way and kept looking, but eventually our good mutual friend Matt Ivanhoe of Cultivated Collector was helping Doug buy his Carrera GT and mentioned to Doug in passing, hey, a client of mine just sold in a Murcielago Roadster. It's really nice, if you know anyone looking. And Doug said, as a matter of fact, I have just the guy for you, puts me in touch. Matthew starts out with his asking price and says, oh, I'll hook you up as a friend with Doug. And by hookup, he meant charge me full retail plus some. And, we do our little dance and we meet in the middle at where I wanted to be. But he said, the condition of the sale is I don't want to hear from you ever again with problems or issues. Just accept the deal and make this easy on me. He didn't actually mean I don't want to hear from you again, but I took it literally and I never contacted him again. And then he reached out to me. He's like, hey, how come you never talk to me anymore? I'm like, oh, I'm just honoring our deal, buddy. But Matthew and I are still really good friends to this day. And I now have ascended the ladder from the front wheel drive A4 S4 wannabe all the way up to the Lamborghini Murcielago. And so naturally, I'm here today to buy a Veyron off you. It's the only place left to go.
This month of VINwiki Car Stories is brought to you by Bridgestone, and the most exciting news out of Bridgestone is the brand new release of their Alenza Prestige tire. The Alenza Prestige Highway tire is for drivers who want a long-lasting, elegant, and comfortable ride without compromising at all on wet weather performance. Amazing tire that features their next generation Enlighten technology, as well as their Quiet Track technology. An in-groove feature designed to reduce tread pattern noise combined with a wide center rib that helps to deliver a whisper-quiet ride with comfortable and responsive handling. So check them out now at the link in the description below to learn more about the Alenza Prestige tires from Bridgestone and the entire Bridgestone family of products.